Right. So, guys, today's Redstone short is on buttons. Buttons, buttons, buttons. So, buttons are one of, I believe they say, 5 power sources or switches, is what they call in Minecraft, okay? And buttons are different than levers in the sense that a lever is on or off. On or off, okay? Because fire, there's a lot of stuff that has to do with buttons. See? Buttons. Look at all the stuff on buttons. Now, the very first thing is with a button is that it's not on or off. A button sends a pulse, is what it does. So it turns on, sends out a pulse, and then turns off. Now, one thing that I learned new today while I was doing research on buttons is that there is a difference in that pulse when it comes to stone buttons and wooden buttons, which there's 2 different types, of course, a wood button and a stone button. To make either one of them, to make a stone button, you need to take a piece of smooth stone, pop it in there, and poof, you get a button. If you, to make a wooden button, you take a wooden plank, pop it in there, and you get a wooden button, okay? And so, time, and reset to 0. And make sure you start thinking of your questions now. We'll do a question and answer session at the end. So we can see a difference in the way that the difference between the 2 buttons is this. A stone button, in real time, it presses for 1 second and it does 10 redstone ticks in that time. Versus a wooden button goes for 1.5 seconds and it does 15 ticks. Okay, so we can watch this right now. So we're going to hit that, then we're going to hit that. Okay, and you'll be able to see that the 2 lines are different lengths. This one is, of course, 15 in length, and that one is 10 in length. And that should give you a little bit of an idea. And this also shows you a pulse. Okay, this is how a pulse works. That is how long the button was pushed, was for the length of this signal here. And you can see the signal traveling around on its own. And you can see that the 2 actually do send out a different pulse. Okay. Now, so that's what we have there. And let's see if we can really mess with this thing. Let's send out 2 more pulses. What happens if the 2 pulses run into each other? Well, these 2 pulses are probably never going to run into each other, and these 2 pulses merged. That's pretty cool, isn't it? So now we've got 2 pulses racing around our racetrack here. This is a 10 tick pulse. 10 tick pulse, and this is probably like 20 tick now. Is how big it is. So, and no, we haven't done repeaters yet. I didn't have a lot of time, that's why I did buttons today, and then I found out there was more to buttons than meets the eye, and ended up doing a whole bunch on it. Now, a button must be placed on the side of something, okay? Whether it be on the side of a thing here or whatever like that, or whatever. I don't know, and I think it can be placed here. So a button cannot be placed on the top of an item, and it cannot be placed on the bottom. It must be placed on a side of something, okay? Now, it works like everything else, where it basically is empowering this block when it's pushed, and then that block kicks out the signal, is basically what's going on. All right? So, another feature about a button in what a lot of us use it for is to open a door. And this actually is a lesson to people. If they want their door to stay open longer, you should use a wooden button to open your iron door instead of a stone button to open your iron door, because this sends a longer tick to keep it open. I can pass through. Of course, it's going to troll me here. And there's my door. All right? And also, this block means nothing. As we can see here, you can actually do it like that. You do not need the lower block, because this is where the circuit is going. Okay? So right there. So Yeah, so that gives you an idea right there, and I could even replace this button here with a stone button. We could probably see the difference. See, it's definitely being held open longer. There we go. Okay. Fire, you're not banned, dude. You're fine. Okay. So that gives you an idea on the doors and why you should use a wood button to keep your door open longer than a normal button, than a stone button, because the stone button's shorter. This is a button that can be used to activate a piston, and as you can see, the piston stays open and then closes. So it's staying open as long as it has power, and then it closes. The same type of thing. Oh, Fire, why are you getting banned? Bobbins, I will do that later. I'm trying to keep this very basic. We're going to take all these basic fundamentals and then start building things with the basic fundamentals. Okay, so this is the fourth night we've done this, and last night was pistons. As you can see, the night before was levers, and actually that's still pistons. And the night before was levers. Okay, so I'm trying to keep it very, very basic. All right, so that gives you an idea there. And this is also gives you an idea that you can use a button to activate one tick on a dispenser. So poof, it kicks it out. Poof, it kicks it out. See, yes, those are nether stars. I just thought I'd be greedy and use nether stars. And, okay, so that's how you use it with the dispenser. And this is just to show you what happens. It's kind of the same thing with a, oh, that's interesting. It actually triggers it when it goes off. So it kind of does the same thing as a switch. All right. This is another area where you would want to, where you can use your button to activate a powered rail. So we hit that button and poof, our powered rail is activated. Okay. So that's one way to do that. Activated. And this is a little sneaky thing that if you guys didn't know this, and I didn't know actually until I actually started reading about this, is that stone buttons cannot be interacted by arrows, but you can shoot an arrow at a wooden button and a wooden pressure plate, and it will activate it. So let's see what happens here if we can hit it. It took a couple of times to actually hit it. There it goes. Nope, it didn't hit it. Still didn't hit it. There it goes. There it goes. So as you can see, that thing ain't very freaking accurate. There, hit it again. Alright? So, wooden buttons can be triggered by arrows, and so can wooden treasure plates, whereas stone buttons cannot. Another use for a button, and you can either use stone or wooden, is to block the growth of vines. This is used a lot in different traps and stuff, where you can stop the growth of the vine coming down. Okay, and as you can see, this has grown. This has actually grown all the way around, and I don't know why it hasn't grown down, but it hasn't. But you can see that it did stop it from growing downwards, and that is another use of a button. Okay, so that's about all I have on buttons. I knew that this was going to be short, so let's go ahead and open it up to a quick question and answer session, and we'll do this for about 5 minutes. Do you guys have any questions right now about buttons, something you want me to set up so you can see, or anything along those lines at all? Talk to me now. Oh, we got two tracks going around. This one actually added to that one. Do I like buttons? It's not that I like or dislike. It's, do they serve the purpose that I want them for? I don't think that they have enough time for doors. I think that they need to increase the time to go through doors. But you can do that with a button connected to a repeater. So it does not, Chaos Forge, that I know of, it does not affect the transmission in any which way, shape, or form. No, it does not. Ever buy a hooker? No, I have not. And I was in Germany, so no, I have not. I've never needed to. And Solaru, that has nothing to do with Redstone, dear.